I was just reading this quote, and I really like it. I'm going to read it out loud. Maybe the journey isn't so much about becoming anything. Maybe it's about unbecoming everything that isn't really you, so you can be who you were meant to be in the first place. When I was just reading that, it was making me think of, it reminded me of something that Robin said a couple weeks ago when he was talking about this season of Lent and Jesus going out into the wilderness for 40 days. And I think in a nutshell, one of the things Robin said was, you know, maybe Jesus wasn't so much going out into the desert to get away from everything, but maybe he was going out there to be with himself, to have time just with himself alone, to get to know himself more and to get to know who he was. That, you know, the whole backpacking to Thailand to go find yourself thing, maybe that's kind of what Jesus was doing, was going out into the wilderness and finding himself. And what's interesting to me about that concept is that, you know, Jesus would have been around my age, early 30s, kind of around that time. But no matter what age we are, we could be in our 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s, and we're still on that path or on that journey of self-discovery and trying to find a way to being our authentic, true self and knowing who that is. So this morning, I'm just going to read the blog that Robin had wrote a couple days ago, his most recent one. Do many of you read Robin's blog on a regular basis? Just, yeah? Awesome. Yeah, I'm so impressed and just amazed by how Robin has been writing this blog for years. I don't know how many years, but many years. And you know Robin, he's punctual and he's like clockwork, and he never misses sometimes he'll post it on Friday instead of Thursday. If he gets, you know, life gets really crazy, but he never misses a week. He does it religiously, you might say. So I'd be curious to know how many blog posts Robin has written, but it's many, many hundreds. It's pretty incredible. So this one that he just posted on Thursday is called "Get Behind Me, Satan." There's a story in Mark's Gospel of Jesus telling the disciples about what's going to happen to him. He says that he's going to have to suffer, that he'll be rejected by the elders and all the temple authorities, and that they'll kill him. And then he'll rise again after 3 days. Basically, what we already know is going to happen because we already know the story. But the disciples don't. So you can imagine that they'd be a little perturbed that this person that they think is the promised Messiah is telling them this. They might also be thinking, I gave up everything for this, and you're telling me this is where it's headed? So Peter jumps in and takes Jesus aside. He tells him not to say stuff like that. You can guess what he'd say. It's demoralizing for the disciples. It's not going to win them any supporters. And hey, hang on. Don't we want to get the support of the religious authorities? Use some tact, Jesus. You need to work on your PR. And that's when Jesus says it. Get behind me, Satan. For you are setting your mind not on divine things, but on human things. Mark chapter 8, verse 33. Classic Jesus, always trying to pull Satan on side. Wait, what? I can't speak for Jesus, but I can speak for the Jesus in me, and I wonder, what if we didn't read this as Jesus telling the devil to get out of the way? What if instead we could read it as Jesus calling the Satan, and the Satan literally, the word means the tester or questioner, but we co-opted it to mean something else. What if we read it as Jesus calling the Satan to get on side and back him up? Stop testing me and support me. What if we heard Jesus then tell Peter, the tester, to start thinking differently? Open your mind to what's really true, Peter. What's really important in life, and stop thinking the way human beings usually do. Think beyond your personal comfort. Think beyond the stuff, the power and the certainty that comes with control of things. Open your mind and your heart to what life is really about. Otherwise, you won't understand this next bit. Those who want to save their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake, for the sake of the gospel, will save it. Mark 8:35. This isn't about winning or losing as we understand it. We think we win by being first. We frame it with competition and being better than others. It's based on who can be best, whether that's in ability or wealth or power. We often see life as a need to acquire those things. But that's not life, says Jesus. So lose it. Not just the stuff, the attitude. Lose that and live for the love and the truth that's at the heart of it. Because that's you. First, don't rank yourself by comparison to others. And second, you aren't the stuff, and the more you try to save that, the more you lose the real you and the possibility of what you can do and share it with others. Lose the stuff and focus on the love. Lose the competition and instead share it. Then you will be truly alive. I am about love, compassion, and wholeness, says Jesus. That's the message of the gospel right there. That's life-giving. Go ahead and test that. You'll want to get behind it. Okay, sure, Jesus, that all sounds great, and it's positive and affirming, but this is 2018, and you sound a lot like Oprah. It feels good to say it and think about it, but the world's a tough place. People are hungry. People are hurting. Our neighbors to the south just had another school shooting. How do you expect us to change the world? Again, I can't speak for Jesus, but the Jesus in me says that he isn't asking you to change the world, just you. And not so much change you as find you, by letting go of the distractions, temptations, and unnecessary baggage of the world. Find you. Then go and feed one hungry person. Hold one hurting person. Make the life of a single child more important than the ability to kill many. I don't think Jesus was asking a crowd. I think he meant each and every one, individually and personally. Don't wait for someone else, and don't stop, even if you're the only one. You, let go this way of living and be the love and truth that is you. That's real life.